Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. We're going to talk some baseball theory here. I'm joined by Bryan Leonard, yours truly, Marco D'Angelo. Bryan, first 5-inning betting versus full game betting. We've been around forever. We've actually been called dinosaurs in the industry a few times. Full game betting was all we ever had.
Right.
When you bet baseball, you were betting it back then in the old days, whenever they let the pitcher pitch till his arm fell off. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pitchers went 8 innings, sometimes 9. In your handicapping a game, the line is based basically on the starting pitcher. Let's face it, that's where the majority of the line is set up on. As the game has evolved the last several years, and more managers go by the book, and I want to find a guy that wrote this book that they go by, because I want to punch them on some of the things that they do. You get 6 innings out of your starter, and they're tickled pink. They go to that 7th inning guy. He actually has a name. Right. He's a 7th inning guy. Then you have the setup guy in the 8th, and then you have your closer. I'm not a fan of it, and I'm looking more and more at first 5-inning betting, because if most of my handicapping is evolved around that starting pitching matchup, and the starting pitchers generally, even if they're pitching well, are only going to go 6 innings, doesn't it make a little more sense maybe to start looking at 5-inning betting?
It does, but then you have to pay a premium for it. Most of the time, when you have a bad bullpen, you want to play the first 5 innings.
Like the New York Mets last year?
A couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's priced into the price of the game. What I like to look for is good bullpens that have used their key players in back-to-back games. For example, Atlanta. Let's say Kimbrel goes 2 games in a row. Chances are he's not going to go for that 3rd game. A lot of people won't look at something like that. And then you say, okay, well, this is a team, if I'm backing Atlanta, I would rather have them in the first 5, because you're not going to use one of the most dominant relievers in baseball in that game.
Absolutely, that's a great point, and too many people don't do that. I'll look at, just like I do with NBA teams and travel schedules. If an NBA team's playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, I'll look at that. If the closer, like you said, has pitched 3 of the last 4 nights and he's pitched back to back, you ain't seeing him. And if you do see him, he's not going to have the velocity that he would normally have. And you've got, you might want to be looking at the dog in that game, if the matchup is right. If you're looking at a game that, you're looking to be a 3-2 game or 4-3 type game, and the closer's not going to be at 100% or not used, I'm definitely going to take a shot where I got value with the dog, because again, Vegas is not setting a line based on bullpen availability. I'm not going to give them that much credit. I don't know about you.
Well, a lot of the times you'll see a guy, I chart pitches. So you'll see a guy come in and he's used to throwing 15, 20 pitches, he goes 30. Now he may be able to go the next day, but if he's not used to throwing 30 pitches, he may not be as effective. And that's another thing you can always go back. There's so many stats of baseball, which is why I love it. But you can go back and you'll say, okay, when this guy has thrown 30 pitches, the next day, how has he done? And for the most part, you can just assume that they're not going to do as well. So even though they are going to be available that day, they may not be nearly as strong as they have been in the past.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right, guys. Hey, check out at the site, WagerTalk.com. Up until opening day, we've got a special. You can save over $500. Our season price for baseball through the World Series, $12.95. You head on over. We've got a coupon, an early bird special, MLB 545. If you put that in at checkout, you can get the entire baseball season, $545 off the package, brings your price down to just $750 for the full baseball season. Head over to WagerTalk and take advantage of that. It's the lowest price you're going to have all year on the baseball season. That's at WagerTalk.com. All right, we're going to be back with another baseball angle for you guys. We're going to talk about days of the week. Do they mean anything in handicapping baseball? We'll talk about that next. WagerTalk.com.